Lover if
Really?
in the news. I meant to do that this
Oh,
weekend.
okay, cool.
I forgot to
Okay.
do
Okay. Guys, we sound okay? We're coming through okay? Sounds? Everybody talk.
Talking.
that. Talking, testing.
Chad, you sound real low. Talk
I'm
normal.
going to lose my mic.
What?
Talking normal.
Okay.
I
You're
can
talking
turn it back up if you want.
No, I'll see if it how it comes through. Let me turn this. Absolutely record. Okay. Here we go. We are recording. Okay, boys. Everybody ready?
See, senor.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
You wanna know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. Go, geocache, geocache. If you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is 8:30, which means it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. I'm Scott Burks. We have the wonderful Shorty Knits manning the phones. And please welcome my virtual co-host to the left. I said that wrong. Jazz427.
Howdy, y'all. It's time to pull out those phones and give us a call.
Tonight's episode is episode 540, recorded live on December 5th, 2018. And it is called GC Icon Cache Types. The phone lines are open, so give us a call at 808-468-7924. That's 808-GOT-SWAG. But before we do any of that, hey, Chaz.
What's up?
We got to talk about Patreon, sir.
Do
Patreon.
we got any new ones?
We have 3 new ones, sir.
Awesome.
We're up to 27, guys. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this is appreciated. Costs a lot of money to make these things work. Anybody who does this knows that. I'm not pulling anybody's leg. And thanks to all our current subscribers. We currently have 27. We are rocking it. And we have 3 new subscribers. We got Acme Wild Cachers out of my favorite place, Madison, Wisconsin.
All right.
Acme Wild Cachers. They are a gold star part of the inner circle. With a gold star, they get the path tag, Chad. They get the path tag.
Cool.
Tui Tango out of Ohio stepped up to the bar and joined the inner circle. You know what's funny? I got an email from them when they joined. I've cached with them. Jesse and I've cached with them.
Mm-hmm.
She reminded me that when we were in Geo Woodstock in St. Louis, we actually walked up a trail together and found a Where I Go together, of all things.
We sure did.
And I remember Jesse. I couldn't recall them. Jesse's like, "Oh, remember those 2 people that we walked up with up the path?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah."
And if I'm not mistaken, I think that I have their path tag.
Oh, do you really? Nice.
I think so. Pretty sure.
There you go. And one more, we got Trexer Zero out of Vancouver, Canada. We got a nice Canada listener. I always appreciate those out of country listeners, especially Canada. Hey, Canada, thanks so much, Trexer. Guys, so much appreciated. Hey, guess what? We have this Friday for all you just talking to the patrons. This Friday, the first episode of the Friday Night Roundtable, recorded last Friday night, was coming out this Friday about the state of geocaching in 2018. It was a really interesting topic. We talked for about an hour 20. Had beers, sitting around a table, laughing. It was a good time. So look for that Friday at the end of the day on Friday, guys. But we got to talk about our sponsors, Chad. Let's keep going. Chad, did he freeze?
Is he frozen?
Looks like he's reading.
I can't tell if he's frozen or reading.
I think he's frozen or he had a stroke.
I hope he didn't have a stroke.
I hope he didn't either. There he is, Chad.
Hello.
Hello, Chad. Hello. Chad, can you hear me?
I'm going to drop out and come back in.
Am I having a stroke? The
All right,
joy
it's on.
of live. All right, guys, I'm just going to read here. Tonight's show is brought to you by Cachly. Cachly is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cachly has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better.
And it's getting better.
And it is getting, we will get there. And it is getting better. You can get more information at cachly.com. That's CACHLY.com. Tonight, we are also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork is the creators of the fantastic logbook. Made with genuine Write in the Rain paper, the logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who would rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com. And you can find links to both our sponsors right here in our show notes. Go to our site, click on the show notes section. You got links to our sponsors. So, Chad, you back?
Yeah, I think my my internet just had a stroke. That's all.
Oh, your internet had a stroke.
Something had a stroke.
Something had a stroke? Okay. So let's pop you. Let's make you a little louder here. There we go. Okay. So in the news now, Cachly just recently, the other day, came out and has announced one of the new features in version 5.0, which we have not seen yet. Jess and I are both beta testers for Cachly, and we have not used any of the 5.0 yet. Nick is hiding it from us. So, but some of the highlights, and Jesse was very excited about.
I am so excited.
It's the little things with you, Jess. That's why I do you. It's the little things.
No, what makes this so awesome to me is that this is something that I've been saying for years. Like back in the day when I used CGO, I was like, it'd be really great if I could highlight the different my different offline lists so that when I look at them all on one screen, I can see what belongs to what list.
Sure.
And then when I switched over to Cachly, I was really excited that he had the highlight feature, so you could at least highlight some caches. But
yes,
now
all the time. You use it all the time.
I use it all the time. And now this is, oh my goodness, I am so excited.
So what it is, guys, we didn't even tell you what it is. It is color highlights, which you can choose between 20 preset colors to highlight caches. That's one of the features in 5.0.
So does this highlight the caches on the map itself for like a specific list? That's cool.
Yeah, I'm assuming that it works just like the highlight feature now. It'll just be different colors. So you can highlight individual caches. You can highlight all of the caches in a list. And then when you look at your live map, it actually shows those caches that are highlighted on your live map. So if you have some like that you have as your, your target for the day, or the ones that, are your must do, you can make those stand out even more. And so now you can create different levels or, different categories and make it really obvious which is what. So.
Right. If you're working on a fizzy or something, you got that fizzy list in there, you happen to be in an area, you want that sucker to pop out on you on the map.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yep.
You can highlight each. I'm just looking at a list here. You can highlight each offline list with a different color. That's kind of nice. iCloud sync highlights across devices signed into the same iCloud account.
That's very exciting.
Yes. Exciting. You're actually excited.
I am.
Geocaching.
That's it for that one.
Geocaching survey. We got a survey. Chad, did you take the survey yesterday?
Survey?
You didn't get
the survey?
Yeah, you didn't get it. Does it go straight to spam for you, Chad? Is that what happened?
Probably does.
There was actually, kudos to geocaching.com. One thing I love what they're doing, and for the past, I think 2018, is that they're involving us a ton more. They're involving the users, and they're getting our opinion. They did it with the ape, they did it with the challenge. I respect that. I respect that they're not just doing like, oh, it's our way kind of a thing, but they're actually asking our opinion and what we want. And this survey was just that. They were literally asking us our opinions about hides and new hiders and certain kind of hides. And it was actually very, very nice. Jesse, what'd you think? You took it.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was pretty, yeah, I mean, like you, I think that Geocaching HQ has learned to value our input. We really are their customers. And so this is just another example of, taking our feedback and turning it around and trying to do something with it. So just based on some of the questions, it sounds like some of our pet peeves might end up getting addressed, like, newbie hiders with 2 finds and then they decide to hide something and then they lose interest and, never to be seen again. Some of the questions had to do with, at what point should hiders be allowed to place their own caches? So, and a lot more. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't taken the survey, I definitely recommend doing it. It's all over the internet. You can't miss it. Go into any of the geocaching groups on Facebook.
Check and
Okay, I think I had that survey a few weeks ago.
No, it's new. Well, maybe they slowly did it.
I had a survey that sounds extremely similar from geocaching.com that came to me a few weeks ago.
Oh,
it was just in this week's premium member email newsletter.
Yeah. Apparently, Chad's an influencer, so he gets them early.
Must be nice.
Maybe.
Must be nice. But what was nice is that they asked the two questions that I always say you should do. One of them is do you think we should restrict hiders until you have found a certain number? I always said, yeah, I don't think you should hide until you find 100 caches. And two, it said, should we have it where only premiums can do it? I think that was one of them too. And I'm like, absolutely. I think another thing is, I think if what about the option of only making premium members being able to hide caches?
I don't agree with that.
But think about
it. I don't agree with that, but I would say for non-premium members, make that 100 fines.
Mm-hmm.
But for premium members, they paid into a subscription. They're more likely to be around a little bit longer,
and probably not
need that 100 hide.
Right, and probably not 6 years old or 8 years old or 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll agree with that. I'll go with that. I'll take that. Yeah.
Some of the other, just real quick, some of the other questions had to do with maintenance. There was also a section on recognizing quality hiders. And then there was also, going back to the maintenance, more along the lines of for example, renaming needs archived and needs reviewer attention. And then rewarding hiders with high favorite percentages with certain things.
Somebody in the chat room just called me out saying that was not one of the questions. Oh, maybe it wasn't. I could have sworn I saw it though, because I was like, hey, both my things are in here. Maybe it was something else.
No, I don't think it was asking.
Then something else was that I always gripe about, because
it was about favorite points. Provide unlimited favorite points to premium members.
Meh.
No.
I don't use all the favorite points that I have.
I got
exactly.
I'd give them to somebody if I could.
Yeah, me too.
Please. Yeah, and the whole should high qualities be recognized? I saw in the chat room. That one I was like, meh. Really? I know Jessie would like that because she seeks that stuff out when we go caching someplace else. Points.
I have mixed feelings about that. I think it depends on how it's done. I think maybe hides, specific caches, could be called out, but not necessarily cachers. I don't know. I gotta think.
I don't even know if a cache should be. I don't know if that should be.
Well, they already are by favorite points.
Right, and I think that's enough. I don't think it should be a different icon color or something along those lines. No, I don't know.
I gotta think about that some more.
I'm a creature of habit. I like things the way they were. So it's so it's like, stop changing. Stop. All right. And the geocaching survey. Okay, you might be a trackable lover if started on Monday, December 3rd, and goes through December 31st. That started. It's 80 points for our Friends League, 5 points for logging a find, 7 for finding with a cache with 10 favorites, 5 for attending an event, 10 for activating a trackable, and 5 for dropping off a trackable. You do not own. See, they closed my loophole.
Yep.
Closed my loophole.
I think you might have created that, Scott.
No, I could have been the first one to figure that out. That loophole out. Yeah. So that's the news, guys. Congratulations.
I'll be activating some trackables this weekend.
But I like the survey. I think I like that they're gauging our opinions. I like that. That shows that they're they care about our opinion. At least I hope they do. Anyway, tonight's topic, GC icon cache types. Tonight we're only going to do physical hides. Next week we will do non-physical hides. These are current icons that are currently available. The reason we are doing tonight's topic, few reasons, twofold. One, we want to, if there are new users out there, and we might have new users that are actually listening to this show, we want to show them the different type of cache icons, their similarities, their differences, their pros and their cons, if you feel there are any. The other one is to start a conversation about those pros and cons, about each of the current active cache hides or excuse me, cache icons. So tonight, physical. Next week, non-physical types. So guys, if you want to talk about this, your favorites, give us a call, 808-468-7924. Hop in on this conversation. It's a good conversation. It's going to be a good one. So we are going to start, Chad, Mr. Taz 427, with a traditional cache. Traditional, sir. The simple, the regular, the everyday. Chad, first of all, let's start with what's your favorite? What's your favorite kind of traditional hide?
My favorite kind of traditional hide has to be a mystery or unknown, aka
a traditional hide, not a mystery or
favorite kind of. You said favorite kind of physical hide, not traditional.
You know we're talking about traditionals, dude.
Okay.
Let me get specific. What's your favorite kind of traditional hide, Chad?
My favorite kind of traditional hide is a micro in the woods.
Is it really? You're lying.
No, it's not.
Nobody.
It's a large because there just aren't that many larges, and when there are a true large, they tend to be awesome.
You want a full-on large.
I want a unique full-on large.
You want a barrel.
I want that water tank or the boiler that has been turned into a fake log in the wood that looks like a tree has literally fallen down. That's been barkified. Barkified. It's had bark applied to it, and you walk up to it, it's like, and you're looking for the cache, and all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, that deadfall isn't a deadfall. It is the cache.
It's been barkified.
Yes.
My favorite. I love small woodsy hides. Those are my favorites. A small, not a regular, not a large, not a micro. Give me a small. I want something that like takes me out to the middle of nowhere. But you got to make me work a little bit for it. I don't want to be able to like see it from 100 yards away. I want to walk up to a big tree and have to look around this tree. Walk around this tree once or twice to try and get a feel for it. Not as simple as an ammo can, but not as obnoxious as like a bison a bison and a pine in the middle of the woods with bad cords. Just that nice typical that when you think of a geocache hide, you think of a nice lock and lock in a tree, in a down tree in the middle of nowhere. Those are my favorites. I like those. And even better if you find a nice trackable or a coin in there. When's the last time you found a coin in a cache?
Jeez, forever.
Exactly. It's been so long.
Oh, Geocaching Down Under just stole my answer.
What do you say?
My favorite type of hide, hidden in plain sight.
Hidden in plain sight. That's Jesse Brown.
I love it. Yeah, okay. I love it. I love the surprise, the creativity, that aha moment. I love them.
Especially if it's a hidden in plain sight that you have not done before.
Oh
yes,
I love. Oh, that's so rare though in this day and age.
Right.
Yeah, when you find something, I mean, Jesse, I know it's happened recently, but Jesse, can you remember the last time we've been like, wow, I have not seen that?
Yes,
ever.
I do. Specifically, it was a fence hide that was very unusual. It was a log only in a fence.
I don't remember it. Was I there?
You were there. Yep. Yep, you were there.
I don't remember it.
About a year ago, I was FTF on a cache that it was literally on a transformer box, but it looked like a slip of paper that was protected, that and it had schematics and stuff on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm like, what the heck is this doing here? And then it's like I look at it a little bit more. Oh, this is magnetic on there, and then I can pull out the papers, and on the back was log sheets. Like, oh, that was pretty cool.
My best hidden in plain sight I found was in the back of not a mall, a strip mall, okay, but in the back, by where the doors are, and somebody had a fake light by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like the doors have like a little like light.
Yep.
A fake, freaking genius, man, and it looked just like all the others, just genius. I'm like, oh God, like, amazing. Like it's just one of those, like where it's just, which is absolutely amazing. So that was my favorite physical. I'm sorry, my favorite hidden in plain sight. Well, I love a good hidden in plain sight. still not. I'm a woodsy guy. I like going to the woods to cache. I mean, I don't do it enough as I'd like to, but I'm so happy when I'm in the woods and I'm caching. You know, more so ever than when I'm, you know, driving in a car and just, you know, hitting parks and urbans. I'd much rather be, you know, hiking in the woods. You know.
Mhm.
So, we got a call here, Chad. We got Carrot Killer. Carrot Killer, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on?
How you doing, sir?
Doing good. Just got home from a full day of caching thanks to the National Day of Mourning.
Oh, see, well, that's congratulations. You get the cash today. That's what happens when in the military.
Yeah,
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, they gave us the day off, so we booked a hotel and hit the road to get some more counties.
Oh, you're just going county crazy out there in Texas, aren't you?
So how many counties you got now?
122.
Oh, last time I thought you had like 100.
Halfway there, or almost halfway there.
Yeah, and also when you look at the map, we're more than halfway done as far as area. It's just like the Panhandle has a bunch of small counties.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully the second half goes faster than the first.
What are you going to do when you're done? Then what?
Then we
Gets his name on a plaque.
around our own
Sir,
area.
you live in Texas now. You got to pace yourself, man. It's a big state.
Well, I'm thinking that we're on pace to be the fastest people to ever do it. So that's kind of what's got us going
That's
now.
pretty close, man. That's pretty nice, dude.
Have they broken 100
Yeah.
people yet?
Hey, anybody the chat room's asking? Well, the chat room's asking me for the number. The number is 808-468-7924. 808 swag.
So, Carrot Killer, I was wondering if you know if they've passed 100 cachers who have done the Texas County Challenge yet.
I think it's up to like 180, somewhere in there.
180. So it's actually accelerated in the past few years, because I remember when it was like 50. So
Right.
So hey, Carrot Killer. So first of all,
Yes.
thank you so much for being a patron. He's a nice patron. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. And
Very nice.
and what are your favorite physical caches? What's your favorite?
I guess I could say a few things. I really like caches that challenge me, like physically climbing or, you know, a long hike or whatever. But if we're talking icons,
Sure.
I also like challenges. Obviously, that drives me, but that, you know, that falls under mystery, which could be all kind of things.
Right. Sure. Yes, I can.
So, and then I do like, you know, I don't really like to go for your just run of the mill lamppost cache. So I try and go as exotic as I can. So I like Where I Goes.
You like the Where I Goes. Well, that's next week. Where you got to call?
No,
next-
it's not.
Oh, is Where I Goes this today?
Yep.
physical.
That
Where-
would be a physical cache.
All right, we'll go to we're going to go to Where It Goes right now. Then we'll go down the line to Where It Goes. My opinion. While we got you on the phone, I'll give you my opinion of a Where I Go. I have in my
Let's
notes.
hear it.
They have their place, and I've done some really cool ones, but I do not seek them out, and usually have to be pushed into doing one. It's my notes. I'd rather do an AR cache than a Where I Go. Recently, I did a reverse Where I Go. That was pretty cool. Those are my notes. So I thought the reverse Where I Go was cooler than a Where I Go. Basically, Where I Go is, yeah, you got to push me to do it. Like, I don't want it. Jesse's always like, come on, let's just do it. Let's do it. I'm like, I got to download.
You know, the reverse Where I Go has become the LPC of Where I Goes, right?
The which one?
The reverse Where I Go has become the LPC of
Oh,
Where I
it's so much
Goes.
more fun than a regular Where I Go.
See, that was brand new to us. Like that was the first one we'd done last weekend.
And there's a website
Yeah.
out there that will solve it for you.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yes.
Chad, what's your thoughts on the Where I Go?
I enjoy them. So, you know, at first they were a bit annoying because the cartridges crashed all the time.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's more the software that we have for our apps nowadays. They've gotten a lot better, so they just don't crash like they used to. I haven't had one crash in 3 years. But also, I like the further we get along, there's people that have created some really good Where I Goes, and other people have modeled their Where I Goes off of those. So things that take me and provide a good story or provide me the history of a place, or provide me an entertaining game. Those are fun.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, what do you?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I've done some really good ones, and I've done some not so good ones, and I agree. The good ones to me are the ones that, take you to neat places, teach you something, tell you a story. I did one I think it was in Valparaiso, Indiana, that takes you to all of the historic buildings through town, and you have to go to each one and answer a question about it. And that was really neat because it showed you the town, throughout that cache. And then I've done others that, like the Solve Anywheres. Those are fun because then you can get the icon once you get to where you're going, but it kind of defeats the purpose. So.
Go ahead, Karen.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, to me, Where I Go is kind of just like a high-tech fancy multi. Serves kind of the same purpose, taking you place to place, and you can do it as like a tour guide, or you can tell a story, or you can do whatever you want with it, I guess. And to me, it breaks up the monotony of I'm just going here to, walk down this trail and get the cache. It adds a little more flavor to it. So that's what I like about them.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jess.
Well, I was going to say, I also think that Where I Goes are really fun for kids. Like my son used to really enjoy caching with me, and lately he's 12 now, and so he doesn't like it as much. But if I can get him to do a Where I Go because it's interactive and he can control it, he would really love that. And he's done some that he really likes, and those are better than a multi or a puzzle or something else that aren't interactive.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I respect the Where I Go. I know it takes a lot of work to build a Where I Go. I've never built one, but I can only imagine the time it takes to actually to pull one up. I mean, like I said, we did the Goonies one, Jess. We FTF.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was awesome.
It was amazing. I mean, it was fantastic. It was in a park. We had to use all the Goonie different kind of stuff that they used in the movie. It was amazing. It was a great cache. But that being said, I'm sure it took forever to put together. And
it's fun to bumble around in the park like an idiot with your phone while everyone else is looking at you.
So yeah, I do like them. It's one of those like she's got to convince me. We got to have time kind of a thing. Because usually we're pressed for time. Usually when we're out in the woods, there's not too many Where I Goes in the middle of the woods. So usually when we're urban caching, we're usually pressed for time because we're trying to get something or do a number or get somewhere. And so it's like she's like, "Come on, let's do it." I'm like, it's.
And for the people who are publishing Where I Goes out there, maybe you should put a recommended amount of time needed to complete the Where I Go.
That would be greatly appreciated.
I'm not talking to you, Jesse, but and not this Jesse here.
I knew who you meant.
but another Jesse.
But Carrot mentioned multis.
Well,
go ahead. Finish your thought.
Sorry, I was just going to say I learned that lesson because I had a Where I Go back in Georgia where I lived. And it probably took 2 hours because you had to drive to all of these different locations. It was different locations that were supposedly haunted.
Oh, nice.
And after the first couple of people did it and complained that, hey, I didn't know it was going to take me all night, Right. So yeah, I put it clearly, boldly. It's going to take you 90 minutes to 2 hours to do. Make sure you know. So.
And did people still do it, or did it shy people away from that?
It's still going actually, but I don't know. I'd say it's had less than 20 finders in 4 years.
Wow. And how many? And
it almost has I'd say it almost has 100% favorite points, but yeah, it's most people aren't willing to invest that.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. I mean,
but you're not pissing off the people that get there and start it up. It's like, well, I can't finish this, and
right.
they're gonna quit, and then they're gonna be,
right,
irritated. And I've done that. I mean, because it's like, okay, there's a Where I Go here. I've got about an hour to kill. I'm gonna start it up, and I start going. It's like, oh, the next thing is across friggin' town. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk multis here since you mentioned multis here, and let's move on to the multi cache, which is one of my favorites. I always love a good multi. I've done some really amazing 2 to 3 stage multis. And I always say it's a shame that nobody does them, because some of the best caches I've seen have been multis. That they've been phenomenal caches, but nobody does them. But they have like less, it's 5 years old and they have less than 50 finds. So one things I hate. So I love a good multi. I hate when the owner doesn't tell you how many stages that are actually in it. That really bugs me when I allocate time for it and it's 9 stages, and and one of the stages isn't there. The second to last stage. So that's why I was like, one of my cons. So my cons are like that when the owner doesn't tell you how many stages there are. These are usually very hard to maintain a multi, because if you have 5 stages, that's 5 caches you have to maintain. So virtual stages are always way better.
Right.
If you're going to do one, my advice to you is do virtual stages and not caches at every stage, because that's 5 caches that you have to now maintain.
Right. That's kind of what my comments are. So, a well-maintained multi is great, but one that is full of virtual stages instead of physical stages is much better, because you don't run or you have a much reduced chance of getting multiple stages in, and then you can't do anything more, because there's nothing more frustrating than spending 2 hours, get to the next to last stage, and you can't get to the final.
Right.
And I've done that on multiple times.
Oh, I've done it too. Absolutely. That's happened to me on more than one occasion. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And I've done it where the stages were all virtuals and the final wasn't there. I've had that where you didn't have the final. That's the worst,
Yeah.
Especially, and then you don't know the hider, so it's like you get him and call him up. It's like, yeah, I've had that happen. And Jesse, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you, Scott. I like multis when they're maintained. That's always a plus. Having virtual stages definitely helps with that. Although I've gone to a virtual stage that was like a sign, and the sign is missing, so you always have that issue to deal with.
That happened to us. Remember that?
Yeah, that happened to us somewhere recently. I own only one multi as my own, and it is a simple solve in the field, virtual stage 1, physical stage 2, 10 minutes tops, and that is my least hit cache, unfortunately.
Which is amazing, because and there's 2 caches on each side of it too. It's down a trail, and there's 2 caches on each side of it, and people will hit the 2 caches and not hit her multi. And like the final is like 120 feet from
right.
I'm at least going to open up that multi and see, is this something I should be able to do in 5 minutes, or is this something that's going to take me a couple hours?
Yeah, it's one of those. Here's an interesting story real quick. Is that somebody in our a guy named MGB, he's in Chicago, a cashier in Chicago. He wanted to do a test. So he did I think he did every icon. Jesse, do you remember this, Jess? I think he did.
Yes.
He put a cache of it. It was a certain kind of it was a grouping of caches, and he did every icon just to see. He wanted to see what got hit the most. And for the multi, okay, literally all he did is at ground zero, he had that kind of hide where you could open both ends. And
the bottle cap,
and he had a point going open this side, so you opened it, you opened the note, and it said flip it over, and then the other side was the cap. Literally, that was the multi. Okay, and guess what? That was the least hit
multi.
That was the least hit icon. Was the multi.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, come on, really? Like
there's some people that have been so turned off by missing stages that they won't even look anymore.
These people will spend 6 hours in front of a computer trying to solve a puzzle, but they won't drive a quarter mile to finish a multi.
It's a good point.
Work though.
I can't.
I've never really thought of it that way.
I can't wrap my brain around that.
Not that I've ever spent 6 hours at work.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, Carrot, what do you think? What do you think about a multi?
I would say, I don't know. It's probably not one I go after that much. I have over 100 of them, so I guess that's pretty good. But
wait, hold on. How many finds do you have?
I don't know.
How many finds do you have?
I'm at, I don't know, 4,200.
With only 100 multis?
So, yeah, I guess it's not that much.
Yeah.
I will say, mentioning multis, this weekend I'm going for an 81 grid of all multis.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That'll up
North
it a
of
little
Dallas,
bit.
so that'll bump up the numbers.
That'll up your number just a tad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And 81 grid is that the full set of fizzy or
Full set, isn't it? 81.
Yeah, full set of fizzy.
Oh, nice. So you're gonna
full
buy
set of fizzy
5
multi?
multi.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we have some friends flying in from Georgia to Dallas, and they asked us to meet us there. So driving up after work Friday.
Very nice.
I would imagine that will fulfill a challenge of some sort.
There are definitely fizzy multi challenges
there,
out there.
so that kind of diverted our county plans for at least one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, Chad?
We'll hit a few new ones up.
So there are definitely some fizzy multi challenges out there.
Are there?
Actually, there are fizzy challenges for pretty much every
Mhm.
icon out there, with the exception of ape and webcam and live caches.
Oh, I didn't know.
Might not be one for a virtual.
Probably not virtual, probably not event, but
Yeah.
Right.
I know I've seen multi.
Traditional
Traditional.
multi-letterbox mystery.
Mhm.
They,
I've seen Where I Go.
Where I Go, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on to the letterbox. The letterbox. My notes are: I really enjoy letterboxes. It adds a layer to the game that I find absolutely fascinating. I really love it when they include a treasure map when you have to follow a map to get to the cache. So much that I actually created my own letterbox that follows a treasure map that is in a mall. You have to go through the mall with the map, and it
Mhm.
takes you to and answer, and you have to like take notes at certain things, and then the cache is outside, like at a different door, right outside the door. Because GC made me put it outside. I wanted to put it inside. But yeah, I love a good letterbox. I'm always up for a letterbox. And like I said, if a map is there, even better. But I love it. To me, it's like this whole thing is like a treasure hunt, and actually have a map to use the treasure hunt just makes it so much sweeter. So I love a good. I'm always up for a letterbox. I love a good letterbox.
Mhm.
In fact, my 1,000th find was a letterbox. Little fun fact.
Is it my favorite?
No, it was George and Letty is the name of the cache. I think it's still active too. You've never done it.
No.
On there. Yeah.
Hmm.
What about you, Chad? What do you think?
I definitely love a well done letterbox. Definitely has a treasure map feel about it, and getting to ground zero, identifying the landmarks, and start working from there. But I've also come across some where the directions are so obscure that it's near impossible to figure out. I'm talking about you, Cal Kids. And so anyone out here, they know a Cal Kids multi, and they know that the things will drive you nuts. So some people love them though. I love those crazy obscure ones. For me, it's like, no, tell me to look to the north, find a big pine tree, start heading that 50 paces that directions, hang a right. That's what I want.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree.
I like that. I like putting the GPS away for a minute, and just
Mhm.
following directions.
Mhm.
The
One
problem.
of my go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
One of my all-time favorite caches is a letterbox called Vampire Empire, and I know we've talked about that one on the show before. It's a letterbox that takes you into the underground pedway that goes under the city of Chicago, and it is amazing. If you're ever in the city of Chicago, for sure, put that one on your to-do list.
And again, it's a treasure map. It is a map. Yes, it is. For everybody who doesn't know, there is a city under the city of Chicago. It's actually pretty amazing. Hey, Carrot Killer.
Yeah.
What do you think of a good old letterbox? Are you pro letterbox or are you con letterbox?
I'm definitely pro, and like you were saying, I like it when there is some clues or something, untraditional about a letterbox. The problem is about 80% of them I do. It's just a traditional with the stamp thrown in the can and call it a letterbox.
Yeah, boo.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
If the coordinates in the cache page is where you find it, it's not a letterbox.
It is if it has a stamp.
Yeah, but that doesn't
not in my opinion.
by reviewers or Definitely by
No, that
hiders.
doesn't get enforced at all. No, we just found one. Me and Jesse just recently found one. I don't think it had a stamp in it.
It didn't have a stamp.
Remember, it was a letterbox. They're like, there's no stamp in here. It's a
Mhm.
That's a boo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's, I mean, it's, yeah. If you're going to do a letterbox, hey, man, make some, it could be really simple too. I mean, you don't have to like make it so crazy. Just give them some simple directions on paces and direction and let them find it,
Yep.
Half the time I might forget my letterbox kit when I'm grabbing a letterbox, but when I got my letterbox kit, I want to get that stamp, and I want to stamp the log.
Right.
So tiny. So I've had some where they've had basically micros, and it's like, how in the hell's my big ass stamp gonna work on this micro log?
You got to have a small stamp there, Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah, stamps.
Just don't do
Let's
small
move.
stamps.
Let's move along. I want to save multis for last. I'm sorry. I want to save the mystery for last. So let's go to Chad's favorite, Sir Chad. We're going to discuss the ape cache now.
Oh,
You like the ape? You're an ape yourself, aren't you? You like
of course.
You found both, right? Haven't you found two?
So I found both of them that are active,
Oh.
currently active. So I don't think I don't think they're gonna reactivate anymore.
I think you got both. Yeah, pretty positive.
Definitely both of them were awesome adventures. Too bad there's only two in play. So the Snoqualmie Tunnel one in Washington is a great one, but I would count it as a small to medium adventure. You do walk 3 miles through a tunnel. That if you don't have a flashlight, if you turn your flashlight off, you literally cannot see your hand in front of your face. I mean, you can put it up to your nose, and you cannot see your hand. That's how dark it is.
For 3 miles, huh?
3 miles, but there is a cache inside the tunnel.
Oh, Jess, we got to go do this. Come on.
Yeah.
And if I've been through the tunnel when there hasn't been anyone else in there, and finding that cache, Dirty Diapers and Bloody Fingers,
lovely,
is the cache that's inside the tunnel. Finding that cache is actually a pretty good adventure. And now when you have thousands or hundreds of people going through the tunnel during the ape event, it's like, they got it down, and it's not quite as interesting. But finding it when you're alone in the tunnel, or with a couple people, that's pretty darn interesting.
Really? What's the DT on that?
Geez, I don't know.
It's
probably something like a 3.2 or something like that.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up in a bit.
Is it a micro?
No, it's not. It's a regular size cache.
Oh, nice.
And you got to do a little bit of climbing in order to access it.
Climbing in the dark, how fun! It sounds
climbing in the dark with a if you touch the walls, your hands come away black.
Wow.
Oh, yes, it's definitely a fun one.
I have got on my notes for the ape. It's on my list of caches to get, especially now that the US one is back in play. Absolutely. Well, I'd love to go to Brazil, Chad. I know you did, and you had a fantastic trip. I'd rather go to Seattle or wherever that one is.
So the Brazil one is actually an adventure itself. I mean, you're talking a 5.5 hour drive from the airport out into the middle of nowhere, Brazil, to get to this rainforest park, and then you're hiking up and down through the trails, and finding the ape cache is great, but you also have to cache out the park, and that's about a 4 to 5 day adventure just to cache out that park.
Sure. Yeah. Huh. What about you, Jesse?
Yeah. Ditto, Scott. It's on my short list.
Oh, you're shorting it. It's on your short list.
All my lists are short.
Garrett, have you found an ape cache?
No, I have not.
You're letting me down, man.
I'm always looking on like Frontier Airlines, which is trying to find a flight at an appropriate time to go to Seattle to do something like that. Because you can get tickets for like, if you look at the right time, like $40. The problem is, when does it come back?
Right.
It kick you out on a Friday, but it comes back on a Wednesday.
Right.
Mhm.
Really work.
Yeah, that's always the issue. Well, let us know, Adam, when you guys are going, because Scott and I will go with you.
Right.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it is on the short list. I mean, I want to do the whole the triad thing. That's on my list. Yeah. I'm gonna go out there. I'm getting all
You're gonna
three.
go out there.
Yeah, I'm getting all three if I'm going out there. And unfortunately, I think if I remember correctly, Chad, you've been there. We can move along right to headquarters, which is a physical cache. So this is counting the headquarters icon, which is GCK25B, which is the HQ geocache. I think you can only go there during the week. It's not open on weekends.
Mhm.
Correct?
It's not open, as far as I know, it's not open on weekends. Both times I've been there has been on a Thursday.
Yep. It's Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. It's their working hours. And they do ask that you call ahead, or actually they have a form online that you can fill out just so that they know when someone's going to be there.
Yeah, but they really are lax on that. If you show up during the weekday,
Sure.
they'll let you.
Hello.
Hello.
Knocking on the window. Hello.
Yeah.
It's 10:27.
Please let me in.
Yes.
I want to talk to Jeremy.
I want to talk to. No, he's not there anymore.
Why you fire Jeremy?
No, Jeremy will probably get into the door now. Working the front desk now. I said for headquarters, it is definitely on my to-do list and has been since like 2010. I'll get there eventually. I really want to complete the trifecta, or mainly just for the really cool trifecta geocoin. Have you seen that geocoin, Chad?
Yep.
Oh, it's amazing. I want that geocoin, but I don't want it until I do it. You know, it's one of those, like, I got one of those, like, I won in a contest a geocache for 24 hours coin. It's in my drawer. I don't even display it because, like, I haven't done it. And I don't even like having it because I haven't done it, you know? So it's like, I don't want that coin until I actually pull that trifecta off.
You know that would be a nice Christmas gift for someone who's actually done the trifecta. just saying.
There you go. In the geocaching down under in the chat room says, I have the trifecta geocoin. And Jesse, for the record, geocaching down under says he's tried to call and it doesn't work via Skype. It doesn't work with.
Aww. We'll have to do some research on how to call us internationally.
Yeah, we got to pay more money for the phone call, for the phone number. That's what it is. We need more patrons.
We get some more patrons and might be able to afford that.
Hey man, the international calls ain't shit. They are not cheap, sir. Let me tell you.
This system isn't cheap as it is.
International, less cheap.
My tablet's falling to the floor. That's not good. Don't need a crash screen on my tablet.
Jesse, what do you think about the
I am hoping that in 2020, which is
when we're going in 2020.
Well, you know, I mean, they haven't said anything yet, but it is the 20-year anniversary of geocaching.
I thought,
so,
2001 or is it 2000?
2000. May 2000.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm very hopeful that there will be a big to-do at HQ in 2020. So if we can't get out there at some point next year, we definitely have to make it happen in 2020 for sure.
Well, Chad, isn't there
so yeah, the headquarters cache isn't just about the headquarters, which is great, but there's a geocaching headquarters tour that's around there that has, I want to say, about 15 caches that are really awesome caches. Each and every single one of those are really high quality caches that, you know, you're not going to find in your neck of the woods typically.
Right.
A couple of those are like in the top 5 or top 10 most favorited caches in the U.S.
Are they? Really? Look at you with the knowledge. Hey, Carrot Killer, have you ever been to? I'm assuming you haven't been to headquarters.
No, I haven't been to headquarters. Same thing, you know. Once I get to Seattle, I'll knock it all out.
Yeah, I know. It's like how do you, I mean, Jesse did the original stash, which
I did.
All she did was the original stash. She was in. She went to about 6 years ago. She went to Seattle for a funeral.
No, I went to Portland. Yeah, I went to Portland for my grandfather's funeral, and so I was there, you know, for a funeral, and I was very fortunate. And my aunt is also a geocacher. She's actually the one who got me into it, and so she and I and a cousin went out for the day. The family said, "Okay, you guys get one day." So we went, and I went just barely over to the border into Washington State so I could get a new state. We went and did the original stash because we were already in that area, and a few others around there. So
did you do GC12 or GC17?
No, we did not have time.
No.
Did not have time. No. Because if you're going there and you have time, those are two. I think one's a June and one's a July. If I'm not mistaken, cache.
Right
there.
Jesse, we would need like 2 weeks.
Oh, I know. we need to just quit our jobs and
we would need more than 2 days. We would need like a week there to get everything we want to get. I don't think we could do it in 4 days or 5 days. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll bring Carrick. Yeah. We'll bring Demshar with us. Okay.
Absolutely. So anyway, if anybody is interested in going to HQ to headquarters, go to geocachinghq.com. Everything you need to know about getting there, what to do while you're there, how it works, everything. It's all on that website, geocachinghq.com.
Hey, Chad. You've done the tunnel getting to Ape really quickly while we're on this. Well, before we get off of this, isn't there certain times that tunnel's closed or you can't get the Ape cache or something like that?
There are certain times that they do close the tunnel. I believe there is a page where you can find out about it. There is an alternative route to actually get the cache without going through the tunnel. I would not recommend doing it, not because it's difficult to do, but you don't get the enjoyment of the tunnel, which is part of the experience in my personal opinion. But if you get there and the tunnel's closed, there is a parking area that is relatively speaking, north of the tunnel, next to the interstate that you're by there. And if you look on a map, you'll be able to figure it out. That is pretty much due east of the Ape cache, and if you go park there, you'll find the trail that will get you up to the trail where the Ape cache is and where the tunnel path goes through, and so you can make it up there with the tunnel being closed.
Okay. Oh man, we definitely got to hit this stuff. I mean, my fear is that like the ape's gonna go missing again. That's my fear, is that it's gonna go missing again, and I'm gonna have to go to Brazil, and I don't want to go to Brazil.
It's gonna be pretty darn difficult. That thing is chained down. It is chain bolted and cemented in place.
Oh, dude, someone's gonna go hold my beer. Come on, you put something out like that.
You're gonna need an F-350 with the big chain.
Big chains, the big chains, right?
Yeah.
All right, we've got. All right, hey, Adam, I don't want to leave you on the phone, dude. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for being a patron. You're awesome. Good luck. I want to hear about your trip when you get back from next week on that trip. Will you call me, let me know how it went, okay?
Will do.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Chad, we got GSMX2 on the line. He was just at the trifecta. Hello, GMX. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. How are you? You just did this trifecta?
I went to the Ape. I went to the Ape event this year. Wound up going to the original cache. Went to HQ. Did the Ape cache, and absolutely, you guys have to get out there. If not at 2020, sometime soon, because it's just fabulous.
And do you agree with Chad that's saying that the Ape cache is not going anywhere?
I don't think the Ape cache is going anywhere, and if it is, I think someone will stick it back really quickly because it's pretty popular.
Oh yeah, well, it was down for years. I mean, it was down for what, 8 years or something like that. It was gone.
Something like that.
Yeah, I remember when it
absolutely
went away. And so how
and when you're out there, there's just so many other of the old caches. It's the place to fill in your Jasmer. So definitely got to get out there.
And did you take
you GTDs across the freeway in about a 3-hour hike?
Yep, I did do the tour. The tour was great. I don't think the caches are incredible, but they're getting a lot of favorite points because of what they're associated with. But the friend that I was with, she had done it, And I'm like, oh, I don't need to do it. And she's like, oh, yeah, absolutely you do. So, and I'm really glad I did.
Okay. And where are you from?
Ojai, California.
Oh, okay. So it's not that far of a trip for you. It wasn't that. Did you fly up or did you drive up?
We flew up because limited time, but yeah, everybody should drive.
Well, and so you did all three. You did the original stash too?
Yes, I did.
And did you get the coin?
Did the original stash and some of the real old geocaches out there, you know, GC16 and those.
Awesome.
So it was a blast.
And did you get the trifecta geocoin?
I absolutely do. They have a trifecta geocoin that you can only get at headquarters.
Oh,
and that's what I have sitting on my shelf.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you. And really? Oh,
it's beautiful.
How was it different? I mean, the other
one
one's
of the great coins.
How was it different than the awesome? How was it different than the already awesome one?
It looks like a pyramid. It weighs, seems like about a pound or two, and you know, it's just gorgeous. It has 4 sides. You know, it has the original cache, it has the HQ, it has the ape cache, and then on the bottom, what is on the bottom here? Yeah, that is the geocaching trifecta coin.
Wow, that's a weapon.
Yeah, I chose not to.
You know, I love taking it to events and having people discover it, and I watch it carefully when they do.
Oh, I would absolutely not even take it to an event. I would have a piece of paper going, here, you can see this if you like. Here's a picture of it. Here you go, enjoy.
All right. Well, you guys are going to be talking about mystery caches, and I want to get off the phone, so I don't have to participate in that discussion.
All right, we appreciate you calling, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Chad, what are you saying? You didn't buy the coin because it was too expensive?
It was too expensive. I was too cheap. And I'm regretting it now. It's like, okay, I should have just bought it then.
Chad, how much was it?
I don't recall. I just remember it was too friggin' expensive.
How, dude?
I have about a $25 max limit of geocoins.
And you do the trifecta, and there's the coin, and you're like, meh, too much money.
Really? I'll tell you.
I spent over $100 already there that day.
Another $30, dude. I mean, how much could it possibly be?
I'm looking.
Jesse's on it. Jesse will get it in a second.
Here we go. Oh, it's pretty. $24.99.
Cheap.
Oh, it must have been more at that time because $25 I would have bought it.
Yeah, you pull the trigger on 25 bones, dude. Come on, man. I'm ashamed of you right now. All right, guys.
I spent over $100 that day there at geocaching headquarters. It's like,
I get it, Chad.
My wife's gonna kill me. Okay, you know.
See, that's the difference. I got my wife right next to me going, let's buy this shirt too.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as it's not an app.
As long as it's not an app, yes. All right, here we go. The mystery cache. Oh, the mystery. Here we go. Here's my notes on the mystery cache. I have never been a fan of mystery caches. I don't think it's a big secret here. I don't solve them, and I would rather be out in the woods than sitting in front of my computer endlessly trying to solve a puzzle. But I know some people love them, and I love getting final chords from those people. Those are my notes on a mystery. Chad, what are your notes?
You know, this is my favorite cache type.
Your icon. This is your icon.
You know, it's 20%, a little over 20% of my finds are mystery caches. You know, part of the reason that I like them so much is I get about as much enjoyment out of solving them as I do finding them, with the exception of something that's a wiki hunt. You know, so someone who puts 20 questions that you go hunt down in a wiki that takes you 20 minutes of your time that you gain nothing out of, that doesn't feel like a challenge. It feels that feels like work.
Right. Sure.
Personally, other people like those because those are the ones that they can solve. I want something that's a challenge, and I don't mind if it kicks my ass 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, a dozen times, and I wind up coming back and I get that aha moment. But that's part of the elation that I get, and then going out and finding one as well. And I will admit, I've signed my name to logs on the ones that I haven't solved because I've been out in the field with people. But then I don't log them as a find until I've actually figured out how to solve them.
Really?
Now, I might get help from people who have solved them.
Help like
I'm not above getting help from people who have solved them.
uh-huh.
But I have never claimed a mystery that's a puzzle that I have not actually solved.
Really? You're one of those
Yes.
people? Really?
I'm one of those people.
Wow.
Now, in my opinion, it's play the game your own way. So, you know, I don't care. You know, I will give someone the chords if they really want the chords.
Really?
I don't care if they solved it or not.
Uh-huh. But for you personally, you can't.
For me personally, that's just, you know, my own personal goal.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I respect that. Jesse Brown.
Yes.
I know you love a good multi or a good mystery.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I guess I want to clarify. You guys pretty much are talking about the mystery caches that are puzzles, that are solve ahead puzzles.
Right.
But really, this icon is the catch-all for the caches that don't really belong in any other category. So the icon is more than just puzzles. It's challenges. It's a chirp cache. It's night caches. It's the bonus caches. You know, after you do a series, there might be an extra bonus, you know, etc. It's more than just puzzles. My thoughts on puzzles. Yeah, I really do enjoy solving puzzles. But I like the puzzles that are not so difficult that the only way that you can solve it is to be in the head of the person who created it at the time they created it.
Right.
Those are not fun to me.
We got plenty of those around here. Yeah.
You know, I think every area has their own E-Crane, Bilro, whatever your guy is in your area that makes those puzzles as challenging as possible.
Yep. And that's not fun to me. That defeats the purpose. To me, a cache is meant to be found. You place it there so that people can find it. And if 2 people can find it in 10 years, that's not fun. Unless it's, I mean, I know that there are caches out there that only have 2 or 3 finds in a long, you know, amount of time because of where they physically are, not because it's a really hard puzzle that no one can solve. But also, I kind of want to touch base because you guys both said that you really like multi-caches, and I really like multi-caches too. And what I find interesting, I went on geocaching.com's official definition of the cache types, and they have a side-by-side comparison of multi-caches and mystery caches. And a lot of them are the same. You know, they can have multiple stages. The posted chords for a multi have to be for the first stage. They don't for a mystery. So there's a difference. They can both be projections. They can both be found by reading the cache page and following instructions in the field for a multi and not in the field for a mystery cache. And that really is their biggest differentiation between the two. Is that the right word, differentiation?
I think so. Maybe. Is that
for a mystery cache, it is solved by doing something other than looking at the cache page. Oh, that's the one criteria that defines a mystery cache, other than a challenge. Well, no, actually that does too, because you have to do something other than look at the cache page.
Oh, so a multi is when you're just looking at the cache page over there.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of field puzzles that could have been a multi, and plenty of multis that could have been a field puzzle.
Nice, vice versa. Oh, absolutely. I've seen how many times we've done a multi, Jess. We're like, or vice versa, or even a mystery. We're like, this is a multi cache. Like,
right, absolutely. And I think that's why, you know, I want to take a minute and point this out and clarify this, because it is, you know, it's a very fine line between the two, and I think people mix them up all the time.
Okay. Are you checking something, or are you just checking?
No, I'm texting my son. He's trying to call me
like...
from the next room. So.
Now, I've never done a mystery that was a chirp. Every chirp that I've ever done was a multi.
I've never done a multi chirp. I don't think.
A mystery.
Yeah. He's saying he's like.
That's what I'm saying. I've never done a chirp cache that was a mystery. Every chirp cache that I've done has been a multi.
If you go to let me go to the mystery caches. They say mystery caches can be puzzle caches,
Uh-huh.
bonus caches. So like I said, find 2, get clues to the 3rd.
Mhm.
A challenge cache.
That is GeoGolf is what that is.
GeoGolf, yes.
GeoGolf.
Challenge cache, a beacon cache. So that's a chirp.
Yes.
A night cache.
Uh-huh.
And stages and coordinate. What? Oh no, that's not a type. That's just more talk. Yeah. So I mean, according to them, a chirp falls into the category of a mystery.
Oh, I'm not discounting you. I'm just saying from what I've seen out there, where they've been placed. That's my,
people think it's a multi. A chirp is a multi.
People
It
have.
could be a multi. I'm not saying it couldn't be. I mean, absolutely.
Right. I've done maybe 10 chirp caches, and each one of them has been a stage in a multi.
Well, that's weird.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, while mystery is my least favorite icon, I think of all of geocaching. I think it's like the second most icon that I found, mainly because for me, most of them are park and grabs because Jesse or somebody I know solves them, and I'm literally along for the ride or helping them find. Or it's a challenge cache. I love challenge caches. I love them. I hate what geocaching did with them. Totally watered them down. To me, a challenge cache, the harder the better. Make me look for it. Make it. I want it to be a total. C kind of or an a-hole.
It needs to be a challenge.
I want to be challenged. Like make me work for it. I don't want like find 100 caches. No, like make me find 100 caches by people with the letter with their name starts with the letter H. Like that kind of stuff. Give me that. Make me work for it. Make me try for it. So it's like mine. I have a challenge out there, 13 icons in a day. It's possible. Trust me, I did it. It's possible. But you know what? It ain't easy to do to get 13 icons in a day. It's a full day.
You sign my name to the log. I'm claiming that one.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, make me work. Make. It's a challenge class. You can ignore it if you want it. You don't have to do it. It's a challenge cache.
Right.
So that's why mysteries. I'll do them. Jesse loves them, and so. She solves them all, so I'm along for the ride. But
I have 1,234 mystery caches.
Really? I got to have over 1,000. If you do, I must.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I must. Chad, anything else, sir? We are past the 9:30 mark. You got anything else to add?
Nothing else to add.
All right, guys. That is a show for today. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you for our callers. Appreciate it very much. Next week, we got the same topic. We are talking non-physical hides, the other ones, guys, the fun ones, if you will. We're going to talk about those next week because obviously we are out of time. So we'll get up the non-physicals next week. Okay, here we go. Let's close the show. Please join us again next week as we take your calls live every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, right here at geocachingpodcast.com/live. The archived video versions of our podcasts are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available on most of your favorite podcatchers, including Stitcher now. We are back on Stitcher. How about that, guys? If you use Stitcher, we're back on Stitcher. If you like the show, please head on over to Apple iTunes and rate, review, and subscribe. We really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for updates on upcoming shows and general geocaching information. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron of our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you'll get a ton of additional information, extra videos, extra audio, including one coming this Friday, only available to our patron members. Please head on over to our patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/The Geocaching Podcast. It helps the show. We can really use it. Thanks, guys. Once again, thank you to our sponsors, Cachly, Logwork. Please, guys, if you have a chance, go to these guys, buy their products, tell them we sent you. That's all we got this week. We'll see you next week talking about geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe. Lord knows, hug your loved ones. And we will talk to you guys next week. Claire, there you go. Okay.
You were definitely right. We only had time to do half of those.
I said it.
We started looking at the show notes going, this is more than an hour.
Yeah, guys. So we're going to do anybody still in the chat room. Obviously, I'm going to turn us off in a second. But yeah, next week, we're going to do the other half, the non-virtual. And those are even going to be more fun. Guys, I appreciate it so much. Everybody in the chat room, thank you. Callers, thanks for calling in, guys. Mucho apreciado. It was a good show. I really liked this. I like this topic. I like having these conversations. So, guys, we will see you next week. All you watchers, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.